Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am Sunique and I'm putting a little bit of an introduction to this video because you will hear me say July a couple of times. I'm just editing the video today and it's the third week in August as I'm filming this introduction part of it. And so I'm very late in actually publishing this video. In fact, in all transparency, I've got quite a few videos that I have filmed, some unboxings, there's lots of things, and I haven't uploaded them. So I apologise for that. The reason is, well, Kai's not well, my little dog isn't very well, and the outcome doesn't look great. So I've been preoccupied with that, and then the other reason is tourist season in Cornwall means that everything takes a really long time to upload, to download, because the bandwidth, and you know, there's a lot of people online, you know, more than normal, more than usual, more than when it is out of season. And so yeah, it gets a little bit frustrating, but yeah, everything slows down. It's the drain on all the resources, you know, because stupid things like going to the supermarket, they don't seem, even after all these years, they don't seem to cater for the fact that there's going to be more people wanting to buy things in supermarkets than there is out of season. And so the shelves get quite empty. Anyway, that's real life in a seaside town. But I'm sure you didn't want to know all that. But talking of seasons, getting back to this, I've noticed in the past week or so that the leaves are turning and falling. And so we're nearly, well, Mabon is, what, the third week in September. So we've got quite a way to go before I can actually think about Mabon. However, I will upload this video today, hopefully. I'll try and edit it and upload it today. And I think what I will do is I'll try and do one of the spreads from the book. And also I'll do a little bit more reflection on the deck, having had it now for a few weeks. So I'll see you at the end of the video somewhere as I edit it. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and I have just received the latest Seasons of the Witch Oracle from Amazon. So let's open it. Okay, so this is Mabon. So we've already had Samhain, Yule and Beltane. So this is the fourth offering of the set. I presume there's going to be 8. And I thought we'll just explore them a little bit together. Now, I've bought these a long time ago. I was just looking it up actually. And the first one I bought was Samhain in 2020. I actually bought that in August 2020 in time for Samhain. I bought the Yule Oracle August 2021. The Beltane last year in March 2022. And now we've got this Mabon one, and we're in July 23. So they're not coming out very fast, which is a good thing, I think, because obviously then a lot more thought is going into them. They're not just, you know, throwing them out there. Let's just take the cellophane off this one while I'm talking, so we don't get that horrible glare. It is a little bit dark, I'm afraid, at the moment. We keep getting sunshine and showers. It's a strange July weather-wise, it must be said. Nothing better to cheer yourself up with than a new deck. So, as you can see from these three here, they've got some really nice gilding. So we have red for Samhain, we have green for Yule, and we've got like a gold for Beltane. So for Mabon, there's this like an orangey colour. Don't they go gorgeous together? Is that upside down? Or is... Oh, there we go. That's me. Alrighty, so yeah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And that look lovely on your shelf if you're into that sort of aesthetic. Love it. It's just exactly the same on each one. Wow. So I do believe we've got a different artist for Mabon than we've had for the last 3 decks. So this was the first one I bought, sewing. So that's the sort of artwork we've got there. And we have the Witch for Yule. Very Christmassy scene there. Then we have for Beltane, we have Maiden. Look at the bees there on the bracelets. It's a lovely touch. And then this one is the latest, the Mabon one. So it is a different artist, but it's not too far, you know, from the others that it would be. You know, it's cohesive, it can go together, I think. Haven't had a look at the images yet though, so maybe I shouldn't jump to conclusions. But on first look, I think, well, yeah, I can see a difference, to be honest. I can see a difference in the art style just on the boxes. The authors are the same, Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz. Lorraine Anderson, Juliet Diaz. So the artist on the first 3 is, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the first part of that name, Giada? Anyway, Rose, I can pronounce Rose. Alrighty, and here we have a different illustrator, so Tiwana Lukovic, I'd guess. So let's open her up. So we've got the orange interior with the moon design. That actually echoes the inside of the box of the other ones, so there's no difference there. And that's the same on all of them, they just got a different colour on the inside. Here's green for Yule. And then, yeah, like a goldy colour. Along the edge there we have also the same design on each one, so yep, we got the same design on these, so it's very cohesive. It's all the same on the boxes, just the colours have changed. And then it should have gilt edges because the other ones have gilt edges, so we have like a gold edge there on Beltane, green gilding here on the Yule. Beautiful, beautiful red edge in here for the very first one, which was sewing. Right, so let's get into the deck. So we've got this paper band holding the cards together. Take that off. So we've got this sort of pumpkin orange type gilding on the edges there, which is beautiful. So the guidebook is the same as the other guidebooks. Still got this piece of paper we always get when we get a rock pool deck. That's gorgeous, look at that. Yeah, the backs of these books are really, really nice. I love all these touches. Nice, good guidebook full of information. So we've got some spreads. Let's have a little look at the what it says here. To find enlightenment, seek nowhere, for it lives within you. Introduction, Mabon themes and areas of focus, how to use the cards, Mabon card spreads and Mabon cards. Straight into them we have 44 cards about the authors, about the illustrators, nice little touches of artwork within. So this is a note from the authors here. So what does this say? When we began work on this deck, we decided to prioritise spiritual self-care. Okay, specifically care around establishing boundaries, surrendering to changes and letting go of what no longer serves. So that's a theme then of Mabon, presumably. There's a lot to be said about what's comfortable and familiar, but we can't let what prevents us from experiencing all that is possible. That's a real issue, I think, for a lot of us, me included, in the fear of letting go of familiar ways of being. It's and going into the unknown. It's a trigger, I think, for a lot of us, and I think it takes a very brave soul to actually go for it, to be the fool in the tarot, and take a chance, take a leap of faith. Not easy to do. We all tend to, well, that's a generalisation, but I know a lot of us actually tend to hold on to what is known and what is familiar, even if it isn't serving us. So anyway, as you work with the deck, it's our hope you can find the space to clear your blocks and experience all of the joy, success and abundance that is available to you. Let these cards guide you to find a new perspective and seek the things that bring you happiness with gratitude. Well, I think that's something that's come into my life at the absolute right time. Yeah. Okay, so the themes and areas of focus: agriculture, ancestral healing, balance and transitions, concentration, endings and mourning, goals and accomplishments, gratitude, grounding, healing and self-care, planning and preparation, sharing and wisdom. So clearly there's a lot of work to be done in the Mabon season. How to use the cards. So we've got keywords, then we have mini messages. I love the way this sparkles. Using the cards beyond Mabon. Okay. The magic does not start and end with the season, so yeah, it functions in the same way as any other oracle deck. They say that with all of the offerings as well. So some natural times to work with this deck outside of Mabon, and then give some possibilities there. That for evaluating toxic relationships. This is a strong deck. You can use it for daily guidance, daily reflections, for intention, and as altar cards. And then we have some spreads. So we have interview in your deck spread. Oh, look at that. A 7-card interview in your deck spread. Brilliant. What are the questions? The usual. I was hoping for something different, but it's not. I found one that I really, really like, which I'm going to be using, I think, for all of my decks. And yeah, I'll just use my own, I think. Anyway, 2-card spreads, 3-card spreads, apple of my eye, cross. So like a Celtic cross, but we've got 3 cards there instead of 4. Interesting. Falling leaves spread, so that aligns with the time of year. Darkness falls spread and molasses spread. Okay. Elderberries spread and maple tree spread. So it's all in alignment with the season, isn't it? And then we're going into the cards and we get the mini keywords and a little saying, and then we get 1, 1.5. Oh, what's this? Hold on. What's this note? Scan the QR code in the back of this booklet to gain access to exclusive bonus content, including an energy evaluation worksheet. There's a lot more to this deck. Connecting to your tools ritual. Oh, brilliant. This is very informative, isn't it? And that was just for the first card. Okay, so that's all the cards. We have a fox and we have leaves about the authors. About the illustrator, and then the QR code for the bonus material, which obviously I'm not going to show. Righty ho! Well, that's the book. Let's have a little walkthrough of the cards. So those are the cards. I think, looking at them, the messages on the cards themselves you could use without going to the guidebook. I mean, just as an example, this very first one here, Apothecary Cabinet, says, without practice, without befriending them, they are strangers in your path. So, to me, it's sort of saying that, okay, you can collect all of these things and you can have them looking very nice on your little cabinet, but if you're not going to use them, if you're not going to be familiar with them, then they are just ornaments. You know, they have more uses than that, and it's up to you to connect to them. So, just that card there, the message underneath, says it all. I've noticed there's a lot of these foxes on the cards as well. It seems to be a recurring theme. I like this where we've got the transition from one season into the next, autumn equinox. So for instance, this breathwork card, isn't that brilliant? Because I've just had a quick look in the book, and it's got, as I said, it's got like a page, 2, 3 pages of text, and we've actually got a breathwork practice and how to do it. There's instructions here, so that's really good. I really like this deck. I think I can really going to be able to connect with it. There's cacao. You can do a cacao ceremony with that, can't you? That might be in the book. See, this fox keeps coming up as a motif, which I like. I like it when we get the same image throughout the cards, you know, that actually tells a story of its own. We've got someone bringing the logs in so we can get warm and get prepared for winter. We have our we have our scarecrow here. Yeah, they're lovely, lovely cards. And also there's a lot of food stuffs in here as well, I noticed. We've got this fox again, look, and the crows. Yeah, crow. So yeah, I think they're really, really nice. We've even got some darker cards that, you know, that we can use to help confront any issues we might be dealing with at the time. So yeah, elderberries. Then obviously autumn brings falling leaves, and how beautiful is that time of year. There's that image from, where did I see that image? I was in here, wasn't it, at the beginning? There we go. How to use the cards. I knew I'd seen it. Yep. And look, it's got a skull of a crow on the head there in our book. What one's called? Fawn. Be curious, dear child, and explore the world within worlds. Sort of a Page of Swords energy there, I think. Cider, foraging, and if you notice the little image here, maybe ghost of an ancestor in the background there, which I think is really nice. Look at the fox again, look, in the tree. That fox keeps coming. Yeah, so it seems to be crows, fawns and foxes that are prevalent in this deck. Look at this. You know, it's such powerful, powerful images. What was it I was looking for? Mead. Oh, maid loves mead, as we say in Cornwall. Yes, mead is quite popular down here, and it's really nice. It's like port, really. It's like a strong fortified wine. Very nice, made from honey by monks. Well, originally by monks, so I think not so much now. Although if you go to Buckfast Abbey in Devon, you can actually buy mead made by the monks there. If ever you're in Devon. Anyway, that's something else. There's a bit of a hermit vibe there. Yes, this is the one, pomegranate, because this is reminding me of Persephone here. And it says, dare to taste the unknown, let it seduce your spirit awake. I think that is very reminiscent of Persephone and her descent into the underworld with Hades. Whether that says anything about that myth in the guidebook, I'll have a little look. So the key words are lust, pleasure, seduction, forbidden fruit and sexuality. And I've said this in another video actually, that pomegranate seeds are full of estrogen. So yeah, there's another layer to it really. It doesn't actually say anything about Persephone. It talks about Eve, that some believe it was an apple that was from the forbidden fruit was an apple, and others believe it was actually pomegranate. So that's interesting, isn't it? So let's have another Queen of the Dead. Fear not the raging of fire living within, for it is the power of your fierceness waiting to taste you fully. Sort of a Kali type energy there. The Grim Reaper. Again, we're going back to foodstuffs, and we have root vegetables. I love the scarecrow. It's like a coven of witches for the scarecrow. That's really cool, isn't it? Remember, you're not alone. Shape-shifting. I've come to understand shape-shifting in a little bit of a different way. You know, when they think shape-shifting, so you shape from one form into another, as in like an animal. So you shape-shift from being a human being into being an animal, like you see in these Hollywood movies, mythical movies. But I'm coming to understand it in a little bit of a different way, and I think it really illustrates it on this card, because here this person is taking off the mask, and maybe that is a mask that we have been showing the world, which is not our true self, and now it's time for us to shift and show our true selves, or conversely stop showing our true selves and put a different mask on. It's true that we are different people when we're with different people. The people, you know, like you are with your parents, you're different as you are with your parents, as you are with your friends, as you are with your children. It's, you know, you become a different person in different sort of environments. So you're a different person at work as to you are at home. I'm saying that in a very roundabout way, but you know what I'm saying. We present as different people in different situations. There you go. That's what I meant. So we present as different people in different situations. We shape shift in that way. So it's not a form shape, a bodily shape, as much as an attitude or a way of being shifts. And that can shift with experience as well. So if we go into a situation open-hearted and someone attacks us verbally, perhaps, then we could shift backwards in our mentality, because we have become threatened, and that makes us shape shift into another part of our psyche and can last, you know, cause lasting damage. Anyway, let's get off all that, because it's just an observation that I've been thinking about lately. St. John's Wort, straw bales. Tea magic. I don't like tea, so I won't be using that one. Toad, observe for those who watch see all. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to have a little look at that one. So the toad energy is talking about watching and waiting for the right moment, acting when the time is right. So apparently the toad waits for the food to arrive, doesn't go chasing. Anyway, tobacco, I don't partake. I used to, but I don't anymore. But I think you can use tobacco as an incense, so that might be a way of doing that. I presume it doesn't encourage us to smoke in the guidebook. Whiskey, does it encourage us to drink whiskey? I'm not a lover of it myself. There you go, which is gathering. Alright, so, wool. Well, there's a card close to my heart, isn't it? You know, observe the backdrop, a woolen backdrop that I knitted myself. I've been knitting since I was 6 years old, and yeah, I was taught by my babysitter originally when I was 6, and perfected it ever since. So it is the one thing that I am actually very, very good at. And I don't say that about a lot of things. But yeah, knitting, I am a very proficient knitter. and as I've got older, my hands have started becoming a little more painful, so I don't find it as easy to do anymore. But it is a lovely thing to do in the winter, and I do get pulled in by all the beautiful yarns you can buy. So yeah, wool. And it is about, you're woven with an embrace. Well, yeah, if you put a hand knitted jumper on, then, you know, you feel all cozy, all cozy and warm, don't you? Here we've got a selection of knitted garments. Oh, it's a lovely card. Protected, loved, and the familiarity of finally being home. Although, you know, people do go to coffee shops to do their knitting, you don't have to be at home. Let's see what it says. So the keywords are security, safety, cozy corner, sacred space, comfort, feeling at home. Now I've noticed with every entry in the guidebook, it begins with your higher self chose this card because. And I don't really like that, but that's me personally. You might find that fine. It's not something that actually I like, and we don't find it in the other guidebooks, so there's a difference there actually in the guidebook. Anyway, so this is to be reminded that self-care comes in many forms. Sometimes getting dressed in the morning is what you need to feel motivated, renewed and powerful. I suppose, you know, clothes make a difference as well. You know, when I was talking about shape shifting, we can use clothes and makeup, can't we, to present. At other times it's standing your ground and saying no. When wool comes into your reading, it's to guide you to find self-care in the small moments of life. That can mean snuggling up in your favourite blankets or finding a quiet corner to dig into a beloved book for the 15th time. It could mean buying a little cabin in the woods. What? If I could afford a little cabin in the woods. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Somewhere off the beaten path. Or heading home for a few days so your parents can hold you and tell you it will be all right. Oh dear. Well, my parents passed a long time ago, so that's not going to happen. Anyway, I know they're still with me. There are some places that just feel like home, and some things such as a security blanket that make you feel safe. Receiving this card is your sign that what you need now more than anything else is a feeling of something familiar. Wait before starting something new or making any decisions. Instead, seek out some time to reconnect with what once gave you a feeling of peace and ease. Yeah, so it's a comfort blanket card, in other words, and there are several ways we can do that. So yeah, in some of the entries we have things we can physically do. So there's recipes, there's like that breath work practice, so that's nice. It's not for, obviously for every card. I mean, that's St. John's Wort and Marigold, there's no recipe there. There's the QR code at the back, so maybe that does give more recipes and things. I don't know, I haven't looked as yet. But yeah, I think it's a very good guidebook. I think it's a beautiful deck. I think I'm going to get a lot of mileage out of this deck, to be honest. I think I'm really going to be able to use it, and obviously it's very, very beautiful, and they're not coming out very often, these decks. I wonder how long it will take before the full set's available. Anyway, I like what I've got, and I've got what I like, so all's well. Anyway, have you got this deck? What do you think? Do you think you'll use it? Do you think it's aimed at, you know, inclusive? Is it aimed at young people? Is it aimed at everybody? Because that can be an issue. I mean, you know, just looking at that guidebook and about parents, and that excludes me. About buying a cabin in the woods, well, that excludes me, and actually makes me feel a little bit sad, to be honest, you know. But that's my issue. I live in a very small place, and it is an issue. Anyway, enough about me. This is all about the Seasons of the Witch, the Mabon Oracle. I hope you enjoyed my little walkthrough and thoughts on this deck. Okay, I'm back. So as I promised, there'll be a a few thoughts about this deck now, having had it a few weeks. What I thought I would do, because the leaves are falling very noticeably at the moment, then I would do a card spread from the book called Falling Leaves. This is this one here, Falling Leaves spread. Now, I'm going to say straight off, the questions for the spread positions aren't what I expected for a falling leaf spread. These are about blocks, really. It's all about blocks. So why it's called Falling Leaves, I'm not sure. I thought it would be about things that you need to release. Would make sense to me. So the actual spread name doesn't make sense for me. However, I am going to do the spread. So let's do that. Just as a little side note as well, the gilding is actually coming off the cards already, as you can probably see there. So there is that to consider if you want to buy this deck. It's gorgeous. Anyway, back to the spread. So position 1 is your current energy. And of course, you know, if this reading resonates with you, please feel free to take it. Okay, so your current energy. And then put that on there. What is preventing you from experiencing success? So presumably you have got some sort of idea in mind of what's preventing you from experiencing success and growth. So what is preventing you from experiencing success? And we have, oh, I wasn't going to do that. Right, I'm going to just go, right, I'll turn them over when I've pulled them all. So that one goes there. Okay. Card 3. What is this block trying to teach you? What is this block trying to teach you? And that one goes there. Card 4. How can you overcome this block? How can you overcome this block? Okay. That goes there. Alright. And then the final card, the outcome if you follow this advice. The outcome if you follow this advice. That's that card there. So your current energy is molasses, and it says to move forward you must know where you are headed. We've got a winding path and the smell of baked bread. Okay, what is preventing you from experiencing success? And we have tobacco, and it says feed your ancestors, raise the sacred smoke to them, for they are hungry to connect. And then for card 3, what is this block trying to teach you? And we've got Witch's Rosary, and it says craft your skills with intentions repeated, a practice of magic powered by purpose. And then we have card 4, which is this one here. How can you overcome this block? And we have Mountain Cabin. There are times when solitude can be healing and enlightening. Interesting, we have a building in both, though the first card and the 4th card. Okay, so the final one, the outcome if you follow this advice is whiskey. Okay, all right, life should be sipped slowly with intention. Be patient as the vision reveals itself. I laughed for 2 reasons. One reason is because it's whiskey, you know, immediately I thought the outcome of that is that you can have a drink. But the other reason that I laughed was because of these two cards together, the ancestor, tobacco ancestor, and the whiskey one. Reason being, my father was a heavy smoker, very heavy smoker, so sort of aligned with ancestors. And my mother, when I was a little girl, and I was poorly, I don't know what it was a flu or something, but she said she was going to give me some medicine, and basically what she gave me was a shot of whiskey, which I thought my throat was going to be on fire, and I've never really been drawn to whiskey ever since. So yeah, that was just why I explained why I had a little laugh there. Okay, so let's have a little look at this as this spread as a whole, and if it resonates with you, that's brilliant. If not, it doesn't. Maybe it's meant for me. I don't know. Let's have a little look. All right, so what's this saying? So we need to focus on our goals if we're going to achieve success. We can't be wishy-washy about it. We can't stay, I think, in our comfort zone, which is what I'm seeing here. We're all very, very comfortable indoors here. And although, you know, we want what's outside that window, are we actually willing to step outside of our comfort zone in order to attain it? Maybe that's a question worth pondering before we actually make a decision. So the block, what's preventing you from experiencing success? We've got tobacco and, like I said, ancestors. Now, it could be things that maybe your parents said to you as you were growing up that have put self-doubt in your mind, possibly. It could be that. It could be DNA. You know, if we bear in mind the fact that witchcraft, divination and all these sort of things that we all love were very much outlawed not too many generations ago, then maybe we carry that fear in our DNA, and maybe use cleansing smoke to clear that preventative energy. That's what I'm thinking with that block. What is this block trying to teach you? And we have this witch's rosary. Well, the first thing that comes to mind actually is what happens when if you've ever used a rosary, it calms you down. The repeated action, actually, hold on. I haven't got a rosary here. It's in another room, but I'll tell you what, I've got this to hand, which is my rowan beads. So these are like rowan berries that I dried and on a string. I've shown them before. So the very act of just going slowly, one at a time, maybe repeating an affirmation. What does that do? Well, for me, it slows down my heartbeat, it brings me into focus, it steadies me, and it sort of takes me into a bit of a trance, really, just going round and round and round a rosary. So this is what I'm thinking here is practice, is doing something over and over and over again, being consistent with your practice, not just doing things now and then, but doing them with intention, as we see with this card 26 molasses, actually with intention to reach a goal. Be consistent with your practice. Yeah. Card 4, how can you overcome this block? This block of not quite knowing what you want. We've got a hermit energy, the mountain cabin here. And it is, I think, not to let outside influences dictate, but to listen to your own inner self, your own inner being, to guide you. And we've got the guide there in the form of a spirit animal. And so, yeah, and the birds in the sky. Be with nature, be in tune with your world, and the answer should come to you in that silence. Yeah, I like that actually. The outcome, if you follow this advice, and it's patience. If you're patient, then the answer's going to come. So don't rush your practice. Be consistent with your practice. Go within. Maybe meditate. Focus on what the goal is for you, what it is you actually want to achieve. I think that's a really nice reading actually. So yeah. So once again, apologies for taking so long to upload this and all the other videos that are going to come along. But yeah, I've said the reasons and they are sad. And healing thoughts for my Kai would be most welcome if you feel called to. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you that watches my channel, comments on my videos and lends that support really. So I thank you all.